All right. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight, the Authors Impact Hub, for our free monthly webinar. I'm super excited about our session for this evening. So I am your host tonight, Coach Juanita Woodson, founder of the Authors Impact Hub. And then I have two special guests on tonight who are doing a phenomenal job in the world of children's book marketing. We're going to hear a little bit about their journey and some of the tools that they use to succeed in marketing their books. So our first speaker we're going to have tonight is Quiniece Noble, and then we'll have Paula Banks. I always will give them an opportunity to share a little bit about their background and then go into their presentation. And then we will have time for Q&A after each speaker. And then if you can, just share in the chat for me if you have a children's book, what the title of your children's book is, and then where you are from as well. We would love to hear from you and keep it really engaged tonight. This is an opportunity for you to ask any questions that you have, and then we'll be able to give you some answers. And if we don't have the answer, I promise you, you can check the Authors Impact Hub later in the week, and we will have answers for all of your questions. All right, so before we bring Quiniece on, just a little bit about the Authors Impact Hub. So we launched this year, and it's a growing community where authors come together to share about their books, learn different tips and tools to help them market their books and make an impact and also a profit, right? So as a self-published author and a publisher and coach, it was really important for me to be able to create a space where authors can come together and really just be able to learn from each other and have a community. And you will see that our admins, they are very active in the group. We're here to support you, encourage you, and push you out of your comfort zone. That's very important to me as I walk out of my comfort zone. I'm pushing people too. So you'll see that some of the authors on here tonight that they will be sharing. And this may be like the first time that you may have seen them in this space in the Authors Impact Hub. It will not be the last time. So we definitely want to make sure that you welcome them with open arms and engage, right? Answer some questions. They have taken some time to prepare some amazing presentations for us tonight. So I'm super excited for that. And you may see me stop sharing just so that I can pull up some of their presentations through the night. So our first author tonight is Quiniece Noble. So I've been connecting with her on social media for quite some time. And one thing that I love is that not only is she an author, but her son is as well. And I think that it's super amazing when we talk about building legacy, especially as women, right? We bring our kids along with them and we teach them the importance of that as well. So, Quiniece, if you can just jump on and let us know a little bit about yourself and your background, and I'm going to be pulling up your presentation.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Quiniece Noble. I'm born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm a dedicated mother, six-time self-published author of two children books, The Secret, Notes of Kindness, and The Mighty Mighty Jungle. I'm academic interventionist in New Orleans area. I have experience in mentoring and nurturing the kids in the community in New Orleans.
All right. And just let me know when to move to the next slide as you go through your presentation. And the floor is all yours. We're excited to hear from you tonight.
Okay. So as you can see, that's my two books. The Mighty Mighty Jungle has been out since 2022. The Secret Notes of Kindness. That book just came out a couple of weeks ago. You can move to the next slide. We could get straight into it.
Oh, straight into it.
Yeah.
All right.
So children's book marketing. First you want to find your target audience, the right target audience, such as schools, libraries. That's a good place to market your book. You can reach out to different schools, libraries, bookstores to host. Parent networks. Also, sometimes it's costly to go on a book tour. So I did this summer I work in the school system. I'm an academic interventionist. So I did a local book tour around the city of New Orleans. I contacted schools, daycare centers, summer programs, and just sent them an email stating who I was, what I do, what do I offer, what books do I have to come read, and can I sell books? And I did like an order form to give to the parents. And so when I got there, I read the book, and then we did the order form, and so I was able to make some cash, and I bought my Tanner along with me to just show him. That's my son. I bought my Tanner along with me to show him that how we can just promote our book. Also, you can use hashtags and, of course, posting on Instagram, Facebook. You can search. Like a lot of times I search local libraries, I search authors, book bloggers, book marketers, book reviewers. You can do those hashtag searches and something could come up and you can DM the people, or you can write them on social media, or you can email them also. And also social media influencers is a good one because they're always looking for content. You can move to the next slide. Do y'all have any questions so far?
No, it sounds like everybody
Okay,
is saving their questions to the end.
you can move to the next slide. Okay. Marketing and marketing materials. You can use bookmarks. Bookmarks is a good one because when people read, they like to remember where they left off. Having a website, that's something honestly I need to work on. I had one, I don't have one anymore, but that's something I definitely want to work on. Flyers. We live in a world where we like to post on social media and everything is virtual. But this summer I got flyers printed out and I actually went door to door. You can also go to the post office and have them mail it off, your local post office. But I went to door. I knocked on people's doors and I rang doorbells if they didn't answer. I just put it in the mailbox. And I did like schools and daycares and libraries. And I just left flyers like in coffee shops on the table. I asked, can I hang it up? Engaging in social media posts. So when I say engaging in social media posts, I mean like making a post and actually engaging with your readers or potential readers. Bags. So you can get bags, custom made bags with your books on there, your name, mugs. T-shirts is always like a walking, um, it's like a walking billboard. Podcasts, different podcasts. You can email, DM. Podcast is always looking for content for their podcast, and going live is a good one also. You can go to the next one. Okay, this one right here is a list of bloggers, children influencers, and YouTube. So first, I had to put first the Authors Impact Hub. Miss Juanita has a lot of resources inside of the Facebook page, on her Instagram page, and on her website. Bella's Reviews, Juliet Musical, Garnett Musical Storytime. She's actually right now looking for children books to read on her YouTube channel that she's starting. I actually just sent her my book Friday. Mr. J, he's real active on social media. He's in Atlanta. I sent my book to him a couple of months ago. Reading with Carly. She's really good. Black Baby Books and Meet the World Images. It's all people that you can like reach out to. They do free marketing, free interviewing, and you should also do your own research on people that you may be interested in. These people are people that I actually use. The only one I didn't use was Black Baby Books and Bella Reviews. I have her information to send my book. I just didn't get a chance to do it yet, but I will be soon. But I actually had engaging conversations with them, and they're really good. You can go to the next slide. Places to host book signings. So last Saturday, I had a book signing at Barnes and Nobles, the local Barnes and Noble in New Orleans. It's free to do. They do like depending on where you're at, they do a split, but it's all good for exposure. Your local libraries, back to school events, festivals, book festivals, schools, event halls, and early learning centers. Graphic design. I love Canva. It's my go-to. I love Canva. Um, Fiverr, it's a hit and miss, but it's useful if you find the right designer on there. You can also find a local designer in your city. You can find a designer online. Sometimes they have people on social media that do freelance work and they're looking for people to work with to do designs. And I put the author impact hub because Juanita, I remember you had something where you can buy like a headshot handle. I don't know if you still offer that.
Oh, I think I know what you're referring to,
Yeah,
but my publishing company, we offer graphic design as well, but Authors Impact Hub, there's resources in there. So you'll
yes.
find different graphic designers in there.
So take advantage of that.
Yeah.
I could not add that. I had to. I just had to. And my children's, the next slide. My children's book can be found and purchased on Amazon. I didn't put that on Amazon. It's called one of my books is called The Mighty Mighty Jungle and the Secret Notes of Kindness. And we're coming to a end. And if you have any questions, let me know.
I definitely need to do the flyer. Like I leave like little scan cards around, but I definitely gonna do a whole flyer and just leave them around. That's good.
That's a
I
good
like that.
because it's like I love the scan code too, but sometimes my camera it doesn't.
Yeah, and a lot, and some people they don't want to like take out their phone. So I think the flyer is good. I'm gonna try that.
Yeah,
I'm
I
definitely gonna try that.
like to have something in my hand. Like I keep people flyers and cards. Believe it or not, I have boxes of people. I go back and refer and look at the card. I keep people cards and flyers. I don't just throw it away. I keep it, and if I
Yeah.
can't, I get mad. Like where is it? But I keep flyers and stuff on hand.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm definitely gonna use to that.
Yes, I love that idea. I need to do the same. I
Yeah,
know I do flyers when I go to like different events, but door to door, right?
or,
That before social media, it was door to door
yeah,
marketing,
we
right?
forget about that. We forget about everything is so digital now. We forget about like
Yeah,
the bare bones of it. So yeah, I like that.
yeah. It was a little. I was a little nervous, but I was like, gotta get it done. Gotta get, gotta get it done.
Yeah, definitely.
I
Any
love
questions?
I hello everyone. My name is Crystal Harrison. I don't have any questions. I just want because your information was so thorough and detailed, and that is the only reason I don't have any questions. So I do want to say thank you for sharing the information that you've shared on this evening.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. You're welcome.
Yes. Well, that was amazing. Thank you so much for putting the presentation together. I took away a lot of tools, right? And I want to make sure that we share some of those resources and tips and tools that you've presented to us tonight in the Authors Impact Hub. I know that there are a lot of authors who can really take from your hard work and diligence, right? Going door to door is
Or
something that we do not
that's yeah. It's a little scary. So I'm salute you for that because
Yes,
I would be
definitely.
nervous.
Yes, definitely. And just make
Definitely.
sure that you are protected when you are going door to door,
Or
right?
try to do schools. Like if you're scared to go door to door, try to do, schools how they have mailboxes. Sometimes like if they're closed.
That's
Just,
true.
That's true. That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. I like that. I'm
yeah.
Listen,
in
I'm
there.
taking these tips and tools. I'm like, all right. Because sometimes we're so used to like just social media. And I always say, like, okay, what are we going to do if social media just
Correct.
It goes
crashes?
away. Yeah, it crashes. And what
Goes
happens?
away. So we have to make sure that we do have other things that we're able to do to market our books, right? And so going to like different vendor events, hitting the libraries, daycare centers, all of those, the Boys and Girls Clubs, right? So all of those different things, the YMCA, if they still have the YMCA, I don't
It,
even.
They do. My
Okay.
sons work there. So yeah, they do.
Okay,
They do.
perfect. Yeah, I know we don't have one in my where I live at, but I think like more so like in the inner cities they have them there. But all of those things are really great tools
mm,
and resources to build your network and community and be able to engage with the kids and show them something different, right? Especially as like Black women, Black
yeah.
authors, Black men that I can write a book too, right?
Yeah.
So yes, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing.
You
So we
will.
are moving right along to our next author. We have Paula Banks, and I'm super excited for the connection that we've had with Paula, right? So we've only been following each other on social media for few short months. Um, but she is one of our admins for the Authors Impact Hub, right? She has a wealth of knowledge that I don't even think she even knows that she has all of this knowledge and understanding. So I'm super excited that she is like stepping out of her comfort zone and agreed to participate as not just like with this capacity during the webinar, but also as an admin for our growing community. So super thankful for that. And I'm going to turn the floor over to you, Paula. I'm going to stop sharing so that I can pull up your presentation if you want to take the time to introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Paula Banks. I currently live in Norfolk, Virginia. I was born and raised in New York, but I've been in Virginia for the last 22 years. I'm married. I have two sons, 23 and 22 as of November. I'm 47, and I just became an author in February. I have written 3 books. 2 have been published. It's a book series called Peyton's Journey, and the third book is a Christmas book, will be out in November. Um, I always wanted to be an author and write, but life happened. I put it on the back burner, and then I'm not getting any younger. And my husband was like, "Are you going to do this or what?" So I was like, either I'll do it or I'll see what happens. I didn't know what I was doing. But I figured it out and I haven't stopped since. So writing books for little girls of color is something I'm really passionate about. Since when I was growing up, there was none. So representation and diversity is really big for me when writing my books. And we can go to the next slide. So as I said before, I just started my book journey in February of this year. Just happened out the blue. My goal was to write 1 book by the end of the year. My first book came out in February. My second book came out in May, and everything my life did a total 360. So I wrote the book Peyton's Journeys book series. My first book was Peyton's First Day at a New School. My second book is Dream Big, Peyton's Hip Hop Adventure. And my third book in the Peyton's book series is the Secret of the Golden Clues, Peyton's Christmas Adventure. I wanted to always write a book series. When I was growing up, I loved the Babysitter's Club book series. So I always knew that I wanted to have that, but with a girl of color. So that's how that became about. And one thing about me that I love, people who know me, is I love hip hop. It's a huge part of my life. And I wanted to incorporate that into I guess just my books somehow. That's how the Dream Big Hip Hop Adventure came about. So in every book or in my marketing, I always have a something hip hop. So if it's music or if it's a rhyme or something, that's just like my unique spin on my brand, just because I love hip hop and I love writing and I wanted to mesh the two. And we'll go to the next slide. You can go, this is know your audience. This is the first part. So knowing your audience is really important. It's the foundation of everything. If you don't know your audience, nobody's going to know how your book. You're gonna market to the wrong audience. So make sure you know your audience, the age, the down to if it's girl, boy, everything. And as children's authors, we have to have two, because we need to make sure we have the audience for the reader, but then the people who are buying the book are the parents. So you have to make sure that you have a good balance. You have to get the demographic of the parents, but you always have to make sure, the parent is who's buying it. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely have to market towards them. So you definitely want to identify age group. You want to identify pain points that parents are having, so you can create a book or write a book that can answer those pain points. And you always want to engage with your audience to get feedback. So you're always being on top of, things they want, things they don't want, things they need, just always trying to keep abreast of what's happening with your audience. So that you are helping them with that pain point or whatever they need. And the next slide, you can go to the next one. So social media marketing, for me, the first thing was to find the platform that I was going to focus on. We have so many, we have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and if you are not someone who loves to be on social media, you can't dive in and be like, I'm gonna just do all three. You're gonna forget it. You're gonna say this is too much and I'm out. So I say go on a platform where you feel like your target audience is the most that's gonna be there. For me, it was Instagram. I think Instagram is kind of the easiest. Um, so go on there and just really, make content. So visual content is important. You can do reels, you can showcase your book, you can introduce your characters from your story, and they're perfect for grabbing attention. Graphics are a huge thing for me. I'm not really one to always show my face on Instagram. I work from home, so half the time I look crazy. So I don't, I just do a lot of graphics. And people think that you always have to show your face. There's a lot of people who do faceless content. I'm not saying you should never show your face, but you don't have to show your face every single time that you get on and post something, because that's not true. And I use Canva a lot to make graphics. I play in Canva all the time. That is like the best money I spend every single month is Canva. So graphics are great for book promotions, cover reveals, showing sneak peeks of your books. So those things are really important to your audience, like visually seeing it. Instagram's a visual app, so they want to see things. It's always good to always have your book in the forefront, have it out there. And then for stories, I use stories to stories is basically for your followers. So I use that a lot for engagement, polls, just to get the engagement, see, ask questions. Like I think I asked the other day, like, what's your favorite holiday tradition? Because my book is a holiday book. So I asked that, today was, do you have a holiday tradition? Because the post that I put today was about holiday traditions. And then I kind of snuck in my pre-order at the end. So that's another thing, I don't like to be sold to. So I don't want to sell to people all the time. So I just find a way to integrate it into what I'm posting. Just a real quick, hey, some posts are sell posts. Some posts I just say I'm trying to sell you. But a lot of times nobody wants to be sold all the time. So I usually try to focus on three pillars: selling, engagement, and education. So teaching you something, I'm engaging with you with something, and then I'm gonna sell you something at some point, to give it a good balance. You go to the next slide. Interacting with your your community is important. You want to build community on social media. I think we forget the social in it because we just go scroll, 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 look around, but you need to engage for people to know that you're there. You want to support other people. If you do not engage, you're not building community. So what's the point? So definitely engage. If somebody leaves a comment, respond. Um, sometimes you don't have time to respond huge, responses, but thank you, or an emoji, or just something to let them know that, hey, I saw your post and I appreciate it. And that builds loyalty and trust. People feel like, okay, they're not just here to sell me something, at the end of the day. But the one thing about social media, if you're going to market on social media, is consistency. You have to be consistent with social media. You can't post one day and then be out for a month. Nothing's going to happen. You're not going to build community. Nobody's going to know about that book you wrote. So if you say, oh, I can't post every single day, you don't have to. Commit to 2 days a week. If you say, I'm going to post Monday and Friday, then you need to be posting Monday and Friday, because people will start to rely to see you Monday and Friday. And then as you go further on, then you can say, okay, I can add a day here or a day there. But you don't have to post every day. If you don't have anything worthwhile to post or something with substance, then just don't post it. But you should be able to post 2 times a week if that's what you're committed to, and remain consistent. And just because you don't see like things going like this fast, 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 because that's what we want, everything to be fast. Still stick with it. Just be consistent. I promise, consistency for me in every aspect of my life is what it is. You will see results at some point, but you have to be consistent with social media. That's just the beast of it. Writing the book is easy. Marketing is the hardest part of it all. I've learned that quick, because we're self-publishers and nobody's going to market for us. We have to do it all ourselves. So social media is all about consistency. And next slide, collaborations and events. So author events are great to network and get out there with people. My first author event, well, not author events, my first author, being an author, I went to all school visits. So I emailed all the elementary schools in my area. I told them, hey, I'm a local author. I would love to come to do an author reading, and they were like, great. So I went in and I read to the kids, and, it was great. And then I started to build a rapport. I went back. They invited me back for like career fairs and things like that. So once you go and make like that first connection, other opportunities open, but nobody's going to know you're there unless you reach out to them. So you can go online and type in your local school district. There's emails for every person. The media specialist is usually the person in my area that handles like author visits or things like that. You could email them, and you can take time out, go in there with the kids, and then other opportunities open. Virtual events like this, I've done a lot of virtual events. Podcasts. I do a lot of podcasts as well. And at first it was, I was nervous, still nervous, but it definitely has helped me get out the word about my book. I just had someone the other day said, oh, I heard you on a podcast and I came to your page and I love your page and got your book, and I don't even know what podcast it was, but I thank you, so just when you're starting out as a author and you're self-publishing author, anytime you can get in front of a camera, a microphone to talk about your book, you do it, especially if it's free. You have no reason not to do it, scared or not. Just get out there, talk about your book, because you don't know who is listening, who may be like, hey, I like that. Can you come? Opportunities definitely will open up. And also partner with libraries. I definitely reach out to libraries, community-based programs. After-school programs is really big. Being an author and working with schools, I feel like there's so many different after-school programs. There's so many things that they have, so much extra money they have that they put towards things like this for authors to come in. But again, you have to take the time to reach out. They're not going to reach out to you. You have to sit down and reach out to them, draft up an email, find a list, keep a spreadsheet, and be like, I send here, they responded, this is what it is. And you just keep doing that. You just keep doing that until they start to call you and be like, hey, come, I need you to come to the school or whatever. So yeah, collaboration in events. Doing vendor events is also another thing I enjoy sometimes. But you get to get out there and meet other authors. You get to, just network. And networking is a huge, huge part of marketing. It's not always about selling your book, but making those connections to go beyond the book, speaking engagements or, just co-authoring books, things of that nature. These are the things that go beyond the book, but they really help expand and build your brand. So one thing I always tell myself is I don't think about the selling of the book, like the money, or I don't even think about the money, because honestly, I can't live off being an author alone. So I have my job, but I don't do it for the money. It's nice when I get some, but I do it because I love for little girls to look at themselves in my books. I love for little kids to want to fall in love with reading like I do. So if you just step outside of not thinking about what if or the money or this, it just makes the journey so much easier, so much easier. Next slide. So email marketing. I do email marketing. It's not my favorite, but it has to be done. Because like we said before, what if the internet just goes away? What if Instagram crashes and we're done? You have to have a way to reach your audience outside of social media. So it's not my favorite again, but I do it. So what I do is I have a lead magnet that I offer people to sign up for my email list. My lead magnet is a ebook that I created that shows parents how to build a diverse library. A lot of parents don't know how to build, who are not of color, know how to build a diverse library. Sometimes I don't even think that is like something they think about. So how do I do it? So I give you steps. And then at the end, there is a quiz to say, hey, you're great. You're already on the right track. You need a little work, or come on, let's get this together. So that is my lead magnet. People will sign up for that. And I don't send out a newsletter per se. If I have a special going on, if I have exclusive content or something like that, a new book's dropping, I'll send it out to my email list. But I know that it's important for me to continue to nurture it, because again, social media may not be our platform could go away tomorrow. One way that I really built my social media list, first is when I had my last book launch. I asked people if they wanted a free digital copy, and I sent it to them. They had to sign up with their email, and then they left me a review. So that built my list quite well. But then I did I'm in a group on Instagram. It's specifically for kid lit authors, for children's books authors. It's called Kid Lit Support. And I love it because I get so much information in there. So in that group, they had a couple of ladies did a giveaway, and it was really big. And they did all the graphics. All I had to do was post it every day. From that week of that giveaway, I got 260 email on my email list. So it grew, and I didn't do nothing. All I had to do was send a book to the winner, and that was it. The person did the captions, she did the graphics. So that was easy peasy. But I grew my email list really quickly from that one being in that giveaway. But if you don't have an email list, you should definitely start to try to get one. Get a lead magnet, something that goes with your book, coloring book page. Just write, something 10 tips of something that goes to your book. It doesn't have to be like deep or anything. It just can be something, because people like free stuff, and the only way they can get it is if they sign up for your on your email list. And I use MailerLite because it's free. And I think you can send it, you don't have to pay for it as long as you stay under 1,000 subscribers. I'm good. So I use MailerLite. It's really friendly. It's drag and drop if I need it. So that is something that I use quite often when I do send out emails. But again, if you don't have an email list, definitely try to start building one. If you like sending newsletters, then this would be great for you. I don't really have the time to send newsletters all the time. So I'll just send like a quick updates, monthly updates or something. But I really do, because I need to just nurture my email list, but definitely get an email list for your email marketing. Next slide. There you go. So this is beyond the book. So when I say beyond the book, it's just product diversification. So if you have a book, that's great. I didn't know this. So I have a book, but the book, there's so much more can be from this book. So once I realized like, hey, I can have coloring book, lesson plan for a book, people love it. Kids, teachers love that. Like they love the lesson plan. So for my second book, I created a lesson plan. So if a teacher has a book and the class has a book, she can actually do a whole lesson with it from the book. So they love that they have something that they can teach at the end of the story. So I have a lesson plan with my book, and I plan to have lesson plans. I can't say with every book because every book is not meant for a lesson plan. I mean, like my Christmas book, but I have a book coming out about anxiety. So I will definitely have like a lesson plan with that. You definitely want to just expand beyond the book. You can like Quiniece said, you can have t-shirts, you can have oh my God, coloring books. I have little book bag charms with my Peyton's Journey logo. Me and my husband bought a heat press from Amazon, and we press our own tote bags. It comes in handy. I get the little transfers from Ninja Transfer, and I get like 50 for like $50, and I just press. And that's so easy for me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we do. I get coloring pages. I just have so many different things that I think of that how can I expand the book? So um even beyond the book, like I have a kit that I'm working on. It's called Tiny Tales, and it's a author kit for children. Because when I was, like I said, when I was a child, I always loved to write. So in the kit, it'll have a hardcover book that is blank. The child can design. It has writing prompts. It has illustration prompts. It has all the tools of crayons, of pencils, and all these things that's in the book that they can create their own book. So that is just something else totally outside of my Peyton's Journeys book series. It still is in my brand because it's about, an author and writing. But that's something that I'm working on outside of writing books. And I think that's important because you want your brand to grow, and then you have additional income. It's additional multiple income coming in. Ebooks. I have like 5 ebooks that I've written and just are sitting on them. And that's another way for you to get, income. Digital products. That's something I'm trying to really get into because I love Etsy. I spend a lot of money downloading stuff on Etsy and all that other stuff. So I'm like, I can do this. So just think about things outside the box that you can do to add to your book and to your brand. Again, the easiest way to start is just taking your character, putting them on a shirt or any type of merchandise that you can think of that's budget friendly. You can get pencils off Amazon with your logo on it for like 5 cents a pencil. I mean, there's just so many ways to do it. And again, like I have no money. I'm not I'm on a budget for everything, but I always try to find things that I can do that I can expand that's not going to break the bank. And I think just everybody wants to build their author brand, but you definitely going to have to go beyond the book. Definitely, even if you really want to like make an income or have an income from this, because just selling books is, unless you're to a stage where you're selling your books in bulk all the time to like, schools and organizations. Okay, I think that did that. Next slide. And for me, imposter syndrome and marketing. Now you're probably thinking imposter syndrome, but imposter syndrome will have you not market your book at all. Because I've been there. Imposter syndrome is just you feeling like you're not good enough or feeling like you just don't know what you know, but you think you don't know. Like, oh, they really know because they're doing that, but I don't know. But that'll have you not market your book at all. It will keep you from showing up. definitely will keep you from showing up. If I would have let imposter syndrome take over, I would not be here right now in this very moment, at this very moment. Because when Juanita asked me to come and talk, I was like, why is she asking me to do this? Because I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't know nothing. So that was my first thought. And I literally was typing like, no, like, no, she must be crazy. Like, I was typing no. And then something was like, come on, like, you can do this.
Get it
So I
together.
said yes. I did. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. And I thought it was wrong. I was like, she cannot be asking me because I don't know anything about marketing. I'm just winging it. So that's a huge example of imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome will keep you from posting the content because you're going to analyze it and think, oh, that person's doing it better than me. Oh, because this person is doing that and this person is doing that. And then you're like, forget it anyway. And then nobody's going to know about this wonderful book that you have written. So you have to come to a point where you're like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. Even if you got to post and ghost and just go and just post it and just go until you get to a place where you're okay with, looking at your content after you post it. But you can't let imposter syndrome take over because number one, nobody's going to know about the book. Nobody's going to know about the great work that your heart and soul that you put into this children's book. So you have to show up. You have to be like, I'm scared, but I'm gonna do it. And for me, it's still a daily lesson. It's still a daily thing that I'm trying to get over. So when somebody asks me about like how do you do this, I'm starting to get people in my DMs asking me questions, and it's still in my head like first thing I say is, why are they asking me? Because I don't know. So I have to come to terms, well, maybe I do know a little something. But if I was to let the imposter syndrome take over, I would not be on Instagram. I would not be writing my book. I would probably have written the book and just been happy with writing it and be like, there it is. It wouldn't help anyone. It wouldn't reach the people it's supposed to reach. So you definitely can't let imposter syndrome stop you. You just gotta just do it scared. Please do it scared. And overcoming imposter syndrome, celebrate all wins. I celebrate everything. I know people be thinking like, oh my God, this girl is posting something again. I don't care because it took me so long to get to these moments. I can't even believe I'm in a lot of these moments because in December of 2023, I was talking about by end of December 2024, I'm gonna have my first book. By February, I have my book out, and then May, I have a book out. Like all these opportunities are coming. So I celebrate all wins, small, big, because they all are catapulting me to where I need to be. So to fulfill my purpose. So I celebrate all wins because all of them count. I try to focus on my readers and not myself. I try to keep the focus off of me because if I focus on me, then I'm just getting in my head and what I could do, what I shouldn't do, why are they doing? Comparison is a thief of joy and it will kill you. It will stop you in your tracks. And I just try not to entertain it. And I just try to be transparent because every day is not, walk in the park, especially being a self-publisher. I got a job, I got a husband, I got a family. I still want to do things I want to do. Sometimes I just want to lay around and watch TV and I can't, so I just try to be transparent with my audience. I don't mean tell all my business or tell all your business to them, but just let them know like I'm human too. And I think that helps because we all think that you're the only one going through this or you're the only one thinking this. We all are dealing with imposter syndrome at some point, and if someone says they're not, they lying. So I think when other people look at you and they think, oh, she has it all together, she knows what she's doing, and then you say, I feel like I'm not this or I feel this, I think it just brings kind of it takes down a wall and it kind of brings like that connection, like, okay, she don't got it all together, she's still trying to figure it out. So I think being transparent sometimes about certain situations, I think that really helps and builds community, that helps build community. And it just, it helps with overcoming that imposter syndrome. And that's it. And remember, your book has the power to make a difference. Every children's book is more than just a story. It's a way to connect with kids. It sparks their curiosity and lasting impact. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there, get creative with your marketing, and share your work to the world because your readers are waiting.
Yes, well, thank you so much for overcoming imposter syndrome and showing up here tonight. This was an amazing presentation. So we are going to open the floor. Is there any questions that anybody has for Paula? And then we'll open it for questions just in general.
Miss Juanita Banks, Washington had a question. She asks, any podcast you
Podcast. So I just did picture book podcasts. That was good with Chris. He's in England. But he does has a podcast just for picture book authors, which was great. Um, I did have someone read my book. They have a YouTube channel, Storytime with V. She's excellent. She is like a voiceover artist and she reads your book and it's just amazing. And she does it for free. All she wants to do is you to subscribe to her channel. I will get like all the podcasts that I've been on, the ones that I really liked, because some, they weren't the greatest, but there's definitely a lot of podcasts and resources for picture book or children's books out there. And then I see she wants to know how long are my lesson plans in the book. I think the lesson plan that I have now is, I think about 10 pages, but it has some worksheets with it. So it's about 10 pages. And it's just it has some questions. I can definitely send that also as a resource of what I did. And I created it in Canva. That's all I did. I definitely do a lot of stuff in Canva. But I did it about 10 pages and it's something that teachers really, really enjoy, that they have something to work with when they're reading the book.
That's awesome. And you said something, and I want to make sure I do just kind of recap that. So Canva is like part of my monthly annual marketing budget. As an author, you are running a business, right? It's a brand. So you want to make sure that you do establish a marketing budget. And if you have not, invest in Canva. Even if you don't do
Yes.
the pro version right away, you want to invest in Canva, and then don't just like put the money out. Spend like maybe 30 minutes to an hour each day. Play around with it. Get familiar with the graphics. Because not everybody is tech savvy, but there's a lot of things that you can do yourself. You can, just revitalize one of the templates that you already see on there. Make it work for you. Do it anyway, even if it's not perfect, and then just start, perfecting your craft in that aspect over time. But it's definitely a great investment to have.
Best money I spent.
Like,
It's amazing. I still learn things every day in Canva. Like there's things I have no idea that I could do. So I definitely highly recommend just getting in Canva and playing around with it.
It's something that one of those things where you just have to get in there and do it.
yes.
Yes. But they have so many templates that you don't never have to start anything from scratch. You could put in anything. Like I wanted to get a background for my Zoom. I put in virtual Zoom and like a whole bunch of templates came out. All I had to do was drop in my picture and that was it. I mean, like you don't never have to start from scratch if you don't want to.
You don't.
Ever. You could just, take out, put in, and that's it. So it's really beginner friendly as you start to learn it, but it's the best thing that I use. It's like I use it constantly every day. Every
Yes,
day.
definitely. You can do reels on there, presentations. There's so many different things that you can use. So if you're like, I don't know what to post, go on Canva,
Don't
like, okay, type in Instagram. Even if you just want to say thank you to my readers, or you're trying to share reviews, you can type in
something's coming
reviews.
up.
There's something that will come up. So it's a really great tool to have. So I'm really glad that you did say that. I think it's an important tool for us, especially as a self-published author, right? We do all of our marketing, right?
Everything.
So you want to make sure that you have the resources available to you to be able to be successful in that.
I do want to share one thing to everybody who's a children's book author. So there is a bookstore. I came across, I don't know how I came across on Instagram. This lady started following me. So she put a message up about all indie authors. She's opening a bookstore and she's in Detroit, Michigan. I'm gonna say Detroit, but she's in Michigan. So she's opening it, grand opening is like in November. So she wants a section of her bookstore for indie authors. So she was asking any indie authors who have books to send her an email and so your book could possibly be in her bookstore. So of course I did. I sent her an email. I sent her like a copy of my book, like digital, and she loved it. And I was able to send her my books for my book to be in a bookstore. That was so simple and easy. But if anybody wants that information, just let me know, because she's still looking for indie authors. She's really into supporting indie authors. And that's it. And she bought the books from me. Like that was it. And the books will be in her grand opening. So that's definitely something I want to share with those who have books, who are trying to get their books in a bookstore.
You have
Yes, definitely.
Paula.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
What was her name?
Her name is name of the bookstore is Words on Pages Bookshop. She's on Instagram. I think that's the name of her page, but her name is Penny Schmidt, but I think it's called Word on Pages Bookshop is the name of the bookstore. And I saw it one day and I was like, well, can't hurt. And I'm always big on, if I see something that for someone who wants to put their book or review of anything that's free that I don't have to like pay for, and I can get the name of, I can get my book out there. I'm on it, I'm researching it, and I'm gonna try it. A lady has a bookstore in her husband's restaurant. You want to try to send your book, send her an email and you can have your store, so, and you don't have to do nothing but send her the book. So I'm always on the lookout for that on Instagram. And in the group that I told you about, Kidlit Support, I find a lot of stuff. They chat all day long. I just, I'm in and out, but I definitely can go in there and get information. Today I learned about something called indie book reviews, where a site does independent book, they do book reviews for independent writers, and it's free. And then they put it on their blog. They'll put it on Amazon. I mean, so these are things that I'm always on the lookout for. I guess I could create like a resource page, because I'm always got a lot of stuff. So I'll do that. Create like a resource list of things that I've used and share for children's book authors, or just authors in general, because a lot of them are just for independent authors or authors in general.
Yes, definitely. And we are working on adding like a resource list to the Authors Impact Hub. So specific to children's book authors, but then also, other genres. So I want to make sure that we get some of the things that you and Quiniece talked about tonight added on there, because it's really important and beneficial, especially like the free resources. So all it's going to take is your time, right? That's the cost. The cost is like dedicating some of your time throughout the day to send your copy, right? Or research, like when he said, research, get online and figure out what's in your area, schools in your area. So one thing I've always encouraged my clients to do. So once a month, right? Make a list. Make a list of the places that you want to hit. And you touched on this, Paula, and then just start to mark it off like, okay, I reached out to them. And then at the end of the month, you go back and you say, okay, this was a success. I need to reach back out to them again next month because I didn't hear back from them. So you want to be organized when you're marketing. That's very important, is to be organized, like create a space in your home or wherever it is that you're working, so that you can make sure that you're organized, because you don't want things to just be all over the place, especially when you're like sending emails to different schools. You want to make sure you're not putting the wrong names on there. So definitely organization is really key in marketing as well. So I'm just thinking about some other, just like maybe like housekeeping, or just like the editor part of me goes off, just making sure when you're sending your emails, you're a children's book author, these are going to school. So you want to make sure that like your grammar, all of those things align with, what it is that you're trying to do. I think that's very important. So this has been amazing. You both have provided us with a lot of information. I have my notebook full of things to walk away with tonight and to go research and do my own homework. So even as a publisher, there's always just so many more resources that you can add and be able to implement, even as myself as a children's book author. I don't really focus on my children's book as much as I should. Um, but I will. I want to make sure that it's more so just about being able to give the information to everybody else that needs it. So I know we had a couple of guests on here with us tonight, and I do just want to give you the opportunity, if you can, to just come off mute, introduce yourself, and then let us know the name of your children's book. And then before we wrap up, I'm going to give Paula and Quiniece the opportunity to let us know how we can connect with you on social media.
And I just want to say, Danielle is on. She has a learning center. I actually read at her school. If you want to introduce yourself, Danielle.
How y'all doing? My name is Danielle Poirier. I have a children's book called The Tyler Who Loves Daycare.
That.
And it just was based off me working at a daycare center myself, and I have a family home daycare. So of course I did like a lot of kids with color in the book, and I did like an albino student because I don't see too many albinos in, you know, storybooks. So yeah, and I did meet Quiniece online. I just was like looking at other children's authors to see what they were doing since I just started out like in July. And I watched a lot of stuff she do. I'd be like, oh, I want to do that. I want to do that next, you know, just to get ideas on, you know, book signing, book launch, and things like that. And I'm always, you know, like I started following her. I asked her to come out to read. She's doing a book tour at you know, different daycares and a lot of stuff she's doing. I'd be like, oh, okay, I could do that, you know. By me just starting out, I just was having so many questions. And even when I did go to like a local bookstore, they was like, yeah, you would just have to type up a consent. I was like, what, thinking in my head, what is that? You know, in order for me to have my books in these stores. So I'm only on Amazon right now, but you know, I wanted to venture out and understand how other authors are, you know, getting their books out there, because by me, you know, I'm only like almost 3 months in. I'm like, I'm like, y'all, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing it.
Just doing it. That's it.
Yeah.
Just doing it.
It's going
And
to you.
mhm. So I want to do, you know, more stuff and put my name out there. But I'm also, like I said, I'm doing a family home, childcare at home. I just feel like I'm never having enough time for myself. So, like she said, with my own book, I hardly, people be like, you got your book on hand? I never had my book. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I got to order it. It's like sometimes I forget I even have a book. But I want to, you know, support other people and see how they're getting out there, and just to motivate myself. That's why, you know, I go to her page. I'm like, let me see what she's doing, because I'm not motivating myself. I'm not like pushing myself enough. I'm not trying to be too hard on myself, but doing this, something like this, like she reached out and said, hey, we have a Zoom call. I'm, you know, it's helping me learn more and more. So it's not that I'm, you know, trying to be hard on myself. I'm still learning and I want to learn. So I'm going to follow all y'all so I can see what y'all doing as well, you know. But that's
One thing
about
that
it.
did help me, one thing that did help me with I know everybody like Amazon is great, but you know, you want to get your book out there and you know, a
Mhm.
library and everything. And one thing that did help for I got my books in libraries is my sister lives in Maryland. So she just simply requested my book to be added to the library. That's all it
Okay.
took. She just asked or requested. They looked at the book, they looked
Mhm.
into it, and they decided to have it. So now it's in 5 um branches in the Baltimore Public Library system. And that was just simply of her saying, hey, can you get this book? They either can say yes or no. So that is one of the easiest ways to try to get your book into the library, just requesting someone to request it in your area.
Okay.
Sometimes I request my own book in the library. I just
That's
use a
what
different
I'm
email
doing.
address.
A library
So
did that before, and I was like, I thought she wasn't telling the truth. I didn't know you can actually, I didn't think about telling a family member to go in there.
yeah, that's what all my sister did. She just requested it. You do it, she did it online. I didn't
Mm.
even know it was in the library. Like she did it, so she never told me like she got an email. So one day I was just looking for one of my books. Sometimes I just Google my books, and I found that it was in the library. And then I looked, and my other book was in two other libraries in Jersey, New Jersey, and in Delaware. So both of my books are in public libraries.
Oh, that's
That was amazing. And I think I got my other books in the libraries through Ingram Spark. I didn't know Ingram Spark for their distribution. I didn't know that public libraries use them.
oh,
So, but for the one for Baltimore, that was just an ask. So
oh
you can
wow.
have family members just request your book. And if somebody keeps requesting it, they're gonna be like, hey, well, why don't we just get it? You know,
Right.
so that's easy. Just if you don't ask, you don't know. So and people think there's a whole process, and it's not. Like, you could just literally go and have somebody ask to have your book added to the library.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna tell all my family members to text me.
Yes,
But
yes, definitely. And share your progress, right? Share your progress with us and how that works out for you. I would love to be able to see those posts in the Authors Impact Hub, right? My book is here. Paula does a really great job of like giving us that encouragement. She lets us know where she has her book somewhere else. And I think
I
it's
sure am, because
important. Yes.
I
Mhm.
be excited when my book got in Walmart, when my book got in Barnes and Nobles, but nothing felt great as that library. As an author, everybody wants their book to be in a library. Like, I didn't care about any of those other ones, but the
Yeah,
public library is because I spent a lot of time there, and to
yeah,
literally have my book in there is like, that
It's
yeah,
was the dream. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna shout it out to the rooftops.
yeah.
And plus,
That's
it's something I can leverage when I reach out to schools and other
exactly.
organizations and be like, hey, my book is in a public library. So why wouldn't you want me to come read to your kids? So
yeah.
yeah, it's definitely something I can use in my marketing now as well, that I have my books in the library.
In the library, local library.
Yep,
Yes.
my books in the public local library. And then I'll name them like boom, boom, boom. So
Yes.
yeah.
I love that.
I love it.
I love.
Hello. I wanted to see if I can just speak real quick.
Go
Yes.
ahead.
Hello, everyone. My name is Juanita Banks Whittington. I am the founder of Diverse Children's Books Matter, and I saw you guys on social media, and I was like, let me see what you guys have going on. I have been an author for a little over a year now, and I actually have 4 books total. So one of them will be out tomorrow, well, in a couple weeks in October. But I just wanted to see what you guys were talking about. I love what you're doing. I did know a lot of the things that you spoke about, but I did take some little things with me that I'm going to definitely start doing. But I just wanted to say thank you so much. Continue what you're doing. And I know the young lady that was speaking, she was saying that she has, the daycare, but just continue to do what you're doing, and your blessings are definitely going to come. I'm extremely busy, so I definitely can understand. I work full time. I have my LLC, I have the books, and I just started a nonprofit. So I definitely understand. But your blessing is definitely going to come, and just continue to talk about what you love. So that's all that I
Right.
really have. And thank you so
You.
much.
Yes.
Thank,
Thank
Thank
you for
you.
You're
sharing.
welcome.
And I have to just say, because we have the same name, so I appreciate you jumping on and joining us this evening. And thank you for sharing. We love the connection and can't wait to be able to see what more we're able to do to connect and partners. And definitely with you, Danielle, as well. Definitely keep showing up. And I just want to say to our 2 speakers this evening, so sometimes we think that, like, right, our voice isn't making the impact that we think it's going to make, but you have people who are watching you, right? So Danielle says she's watching, she sees what you're doing. So keep showing up. Your purpose is not just for you. People need you to be out there doing everything that you're doing. So even if you feel like I don't get the likes or the reshares or all the comments, all the engagement, somebody is paying attention and they're showing up because you show up. So it's definitely important. And I just wanted to give the opportunity. I didn't know if Miss Crystal wanted to jump on and say anything.
Good evening, everyone. Again, just want first again say thank you. As a longtime educator of over 30 years, I'm currently a principal in a school now, and so it was really good to hear Miss Paula say that she did a lesson plan, because I considered doing a lesson plan. And I said, no, maybe that's too much. Because as an educator, my book is called A Bug's Life Alphabet Book. And so I wanted to do a lesson plan at the back of that book to coincide with the book. But I just felt like it was too much. I didn't want to overwhelm people. And so now that I hear you say, no, we can, that's definitely something that could be a bonus. Just
Yes.
appreciate you sharing all of your knowledge and wisdom, both of you, on this evening. One of the things, I'm probably that imposter, because I'll think, okay, well, let me post this. And then my fear of, no, maybe I shouldn't post that, because for one reason or another. But it's just good to hear that it's okay to promote your book, for other folks to see.
That's right.
Yes.
Definitely, definitely. And thank you for sharing. And I just wanted to, I don't know, we have gone 9 minutes over. I'm really big on like our time, right? We work all day long. So I want to make sure that we honor our hour for the free webinar. But one thing that Paula did say, and I want to just make sure that we do this, we show up and we engage and we build relationship with our audience, right? So sometimes, it is like in our mind, like I need to make a sale today. But if you just authentically show up and be yourself, right? Share the story behind you writing the book, build the engagement that way. So imposter syndrome almost got me. So I shared a whole video of me falling flat on my back, skating. And I'm like, I just wanted to show like, there is, when you fall, just get back up and
Get
try
back up.
again. Am I in pain? Absolutely. But you get back up and you keep trying again. So even if you just feel like, okay, well, this post wasn't it, or maybe you wrote a book a long time ago and you just felt like it didn't do what it needed to do, pull the dust off of that book, go back and try again and market it again. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you so much, ladies, for taking your time out this evening, not letting imposter syndrome win. Can't wait to see you show up even more in the Authors Impact Hub. We'll have the replay live later this week. And then if you can, let's just share how we can connect with you on social media.
I am usually on Instagram at author Paula Banks. And then I have my website, paulaYbanks.com. And I'm on Facebook, Paula Watkins Banks. That's my personal page, but I usually am on there most of the time.
And I am Quiniece Noble on Facebook, and on Instagram, I am NEE_the Noble One.
Awesome. So make sure that you go follow these ladies and the amazing things that they're doing. Follow them now before like things just like pick up for them, which I see it happening. Keep showing up, ladies. So proud of you. Thank you for showing up tonight. And then make sure you are connected with us, the Authors Impact Hub. So on Instagram is Authors Impact Hub, and then make sure if you have not already joined the community that you join the community on Facebook. And then stay tuned. We have events going on throughout the month. We have our virtual author meet and greet. We also have the Authors Impact Hub podcast Q&A, where we interview authors. They share their journey and more about their books. And then monthly, we do our free monthly webinars. So we do different topics like this one to help authors from different genres be able to market their books and make an impact and a profit with their books as well. All right,
I'm sorry,
everyone.
can I ask one last question?
Sure.
And this is for all of the authors that are on the Zoom tonight. I am planning a children's book author sometime next year. And so I want to find out if they would be willing to travel to Pennsylvania.
Without a doubt, I'm going to New Jersey for
Yeah.
an author expo in next year. So
What's your information, Ms.?
Yes, ma'am. It is Educator for Life. It's EDUCATOR. the number 4, LYFE @yahoo.com.
And I shared it in the chat.
Yes, ma'am.
So.
Yeah, definitely. I would travel. I mean, there's not a lot of children author events in like where I'm at in Norfolk. So I'm used to just traveling to where I need to be at. So I would have no problem traveling to Pennsylvania.
Yes, ma'am.
Same for me, because
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
trying to get outside of my network and explore other cities. That's my goal.
I love your accent. I am so in love with people from Louisiana's accent. It just, I can listen to you talk all day.
Oh my
I've been
God.
wanting to say that since the first time we got on, so I was like, let me say it. I love it. I just
Thank you so much. I'm gonna embrace it. But
Yes,
I love it.
embrace it. I love it. Well, thank you, ladies. I am going to give you your evening back. Once again, I do appreciate you. Make sure that you all connect on social media. Encourage each other, right? Share posts, comment, do the engagement, right? It's really important. And I'm going to make sure that I go back and I connect with everybody on. If you haven't already followed us on Instagram, please do so. I share your post on the Instagram page. I want to make sure like it gets as much visibility as possible as we are growing our community. All right.
okay,
We have
thank
something else for the
you.
evening. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank
Talk
you.
soon.
Thank y'all.
Bye.